Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're going to dig into this interesting guide, 5 Steps to Quality Service.
Right?
And you might initially think, okay, customer service manual, maybe not for me. But what we want to do is pull out the core ideas.
Exactly. The principles that really apply to, well, pretty much any interaction, wouldn't you say? Professional,
Yeah.
personal, you name it.
Yeah, totally. It's about how we engage effectively. So let's unpack it. Step 1 is prepare.
Prepare. Okay.
And this isn't just, looking neat, although that's mentioned being well-groomed.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about knowing your stuff, like
Yeah.
FAQs, service standards, that kind of thing, being ready.
Sure. Makes sense. Proactive readiness.
But the really intriguing bit, I thought, was gathering guest info beforehand. It specifically mentions checking the guest's name.
Ah, yes. That little detail. It seems small, but psychologically, it's kind of huge.
How so?
Well, think about it. If someone uses your name before you've even properly started talking, it immediately signals, I see you.
Yeah.
You're not just another face.
Right, not just a number or a task. It makes it personal from the get-go, shifts it from reactive to intentional.
Precisely. So it's a completely different tone.
Okay, so that leads nicely into step 2.
Hmm.
Greet guests with a namaste, warmth, and sincerity.
Namaste. Okay, specific gesture there, palms folded.
Yeah, but the core idea, I think, is universal. Eye contact, a genuine smile, using the name again. It's all about that crucial first impression.
That moment of truth, as the guide puts it.
Exactly, that point that can really define the whole interaction.
And the word sincerity there is doing a lot of work. It's not just the mechanics of smiling or saying the name.
No, you gotta mean it, right? Or at least seem like you mean it.
Well, ideally mean it. That authenticity, even in small actions, builds that first bit of trust, that rapport.
And definitely. Okay, step 3. Anticipate guests' needs and comply.
Ah, the anticipation piece. This is key.
And how do they suggest we do that? By listening. It actually says, listen, listen, listen.
Wow, okay. Emphasis.
Yeah. And not just hearing the words, but understanding the unspoken stuff, too. Reading between the lines, it says.
That's a higher level skill, isn't it? Going beyond the obvious requests.
For sure. It talks about delivering efficiently, sure, but also exceeding expectations and really empathizing, putting yourself in their shoes.
That deep listening, that focused attention, that's what fuels the anticipation, I think. If you're truly tuned in, you can often spot what someone needs, maybe even before they fully realize it.
And that proactive element, that's what makes service feel exceptional, not just, adequate.
Absolutely. Strengthens the whole connection.
So after anticipating and complying, we get to step 4, extend a fond farewell.
The goodbye. Seems simple enough.
Yeah, on the surface, thank the guest, make sure they're happy, ask if there's anything else you can do. Basic stuff, maybe?
But often rushed or skipped,
Mm.
right? That final touch point matters. It leaves that lasting impression.
True. It reinforces everything positive that came before, ensures they leave feeling good.
Exactly. It's like the closing punctuation mark on the interaction.
Yeah,
A good one makes the whole sentence, the whole experience feel complete and positive.
nicely put. Okay, last step, step 5. Follow up and explore all opportunities.
Follow up. Interesting. This sounds more internal.
It is, largely. It's about reflection, asking yourself, did I do everything I could? Communicating preferences you learned about the guest internally, maybe for next time.
Using guest history. Smart.
Right, and using that history as a metric almost. Also, self-assessment, how can I improve? And crucially, taking feedback seriously.
Be sharing experiences, learning from them.
Yeah, it really frames quality service or quality interaction as something that's not static, it's dynamic.
A continuous loop. Prepare, interact, reflect, improve, prepare again. It's about constant learning and refinement.
That commitment to getting better is probably what separates the truly excellent from the just okay in any field, really.
I'd agree with that.
So let's recap quickly. Prepare. Greet with warmth and sincerity. Anticipate needs. Extend a fond farewell. And follow up. It's quite a holistic approach.
It really is. And when you lay it out like that, you see how these aren't just like rigid rules for a hotel lobby. They're fundamental principles.
Principles of good communication.
Yeah, communication, empathy, being proactive, having that growth mindset, things that make any interaction better.
Which brings us to our final thought for everyone listening. We've unpacked these 5 steps from a service guide. But how could you consciently Take these ideas, the preparation, the genuine greeting, trying to anticipate needs, ensuring a positive closing, and that reflective follow-up. How could you weave those into your own daily life?
Beyond any formal service role.
Exactly. In your meetings with your family, talking to the cashier,
Hmm.
how could these steps make those everyday encounters just a bit more meaningful, maybe more effective?
Something to think about, definitely.